There has been a big split between the US and European governments over a plan to give a huge $50 billion loan to Ukraine ahead of the G7 summit in Italy. As leaders of the Group of Seven advanced economies gather in Italy from Thursday, the Americans hope the meeting will serve as a showcase for Western support for Ukraine as its war with Russia enters its third year. What Washington proposes is, the USA take a loan, Europe takes all the risk, Europe pay the interest, and the USA use the money for the American-Ukrainian Fund. We may be stupid, but we are not that stupid, said a European diplomat. The differences on issues related to China are even more pronounced, with the U.S. trying hard to warn Chinese banks that support Russia and trying to rally Europe to form a united front against the so-called China's overcapacity. However, some European countries have very intense commercial relations with China and are anxious to avoid a trade war. Washington's calculations are almost smashing into the faces of its allies. This year's G7 summit has just kicked off, and it is the Western media that are the first to seem deflated, with some even giving off a funeral vibe for the G7. The Politico says that this week's gathering of G7 leaders in Italy looks more like the Last Supper than a display of Western power. As the club of wealthy nations, the G7 should have taken on more responsibilities for the world, but it now leaves the world with only disappointment.